Hey, y'all. Welcome to Candid Conversations with Carla. Well, today we are actually talking about post traumatic wisdom. Now, what is post traumatic wisdom? Well, of course, in our lives, we have gone through some trauma, some maybe even some drama, and we've been through some things that have been challenging to us. And so, at some point, through all the hurt and through all the pain and all of the emotions, at some point we should gain some type of wisdom, some type of knowledge, some lessons learned, right? And that's what we're going to actually dive into today. You know, as we begin to, walk walk this life and actually experience some things, sometimes we're disappointed, and sometimes the trauma or the trials can be so great that it can actually hinder us, right? But at some point, there should be some wisdom that comes from that, right? So that you can grow. That's how we grow, is because we've learned from the things that we've actually even gone through, right? And so I just want to kind of actually touch on some of these things. So let's just kind of dive into maybe from a standpoint of a heartbreak or a relationship, right? You experience that rejection, or maybe you even experience, some horrific mental abuse, narcissistic abuse. You've gone through the ringer, and you were traumatized through that mentally, right? Or even emotionally. And it's hard to recover. But if we take a look again, because if we really have learned some things from that, it actually strengthens you to be someone different, someone even better, if you can actually take a look at and see that you're a lot stronger than you were. Not to say that you were meant to go through that thing, because sometimes we actually go through things that we go through things unnecessarily because we want what we want, right? But when we take a look and have a different perspective, right? The thing that we thought we wanted, the thing that we thought we needed, we realized we didn't need it. We realized that we don't want it, right? Sometimes we think we know what we want. And actually, I even want to talk about that, because I know we're talking about post traumatic wisdom, but if you take a look at right now and at your life to see some of the things that you have overlooked, keeping you from the blessing, keeping you from the very thing that God intends for you, we got to go back and look again. Look again. Because you might have something, the blessing might be right there, staring right at you, right? Whether that's a partner, whether that's a job, whether that's and the thing, it may not even look like it's promising, right? It may not even be what you think, what you want, right? But look again. Sometimes we have to shift our perspective. Sometimes we have to, we have to look again, because we're overlooking the very thing that we've even prayed for. And so sometimes the enemy can blind you. Sometimes we're blinded by our own wants and desires. But look again. I tell you, look again. Begin to ask God, Lord, show me what you would have me to see in this season. Because sometimes when we're looking through the eyes of trauma, Sometimes we have even mental PTSD, right? Post traumatic stress disorder, right? Sometimes we're dealing with that and don't even realize it. And so when you're looking through the eyes of trauma, things look different. You look from a protective mode. You look from a it's not from a place of freedom, but it's a different. It's like the scales are over your eyes and you can't see. But I ask God, take the veil off my eyes, because at some point there's healing. At some point there's deliverance. At some point there has to be a different perspective. If you're open to it though, because sometimes we don't even realize that we are holding our own selves in a prison, because we're used to different cycles and we're used to different we're used to being comfortable in being stagnant. But it's time to move forward. It's time to move forward. Look again. Look at that opportunity again. Look at the fact that the door is not actually even closed. You're so used to the door being closed that you can't even see the open door. It's just like, the crabs that have the cap on top of the there's a top on the jar, and once the jar is open, they're so used to being enclosed they don't even try to get out. Is that you? It's time to shift perspective. Once again, we're talking about post traumatic wisdom. Learn from the things that you've gone through. It's time to get up. It's time to rise again. It's time to believe again. It's time to be motivated again about the things of God, about the very dream that He gave you. What did God give you? What do you have in your hands? What gifts did He give you? What promise did He promise you that you gave up on? That seems too impossible. Don't you know that God knew that we would make some of the mistakes that we made, but yet He still chose you. He still called you. He still had purpose for you. It wasn't that He didn't think that we would go through it. No, no, no. There are some things that we have to learn. And sometimes we are putting ourselves in situations that He didn't intend for us. But guess what? It doesn't mean that the promise is no more. It's delayed, but not. It doesn't mean that it's over for you. But this is where we learn from the decisions that we've made, that we learn to pick up and go on, that I feel like going on. I feel like going on. Although our trials come on every hand, I feel like going on. It's time to get up. It is time to move, because time awaits no man. So there is wisdom in the trauma, there's wisdom in the drama. And guess what? It won't always be like this. It won't always be that you're down. It's time to get up. I believe that we are in a season of open doors for the body of Christ. Wake up. Get all that you need from God. Get everything that you have to, that you need out of these trials. But grow from them and receive the wisdom from them. Receive the knowledge from them. Sometimes as I stated earlier, we are actually praying for things, and because it isn't packaged the way that we thought it should be packaged, we've rejected it. We've rejected God's answer. There's a way that He answers, and it doesn't always look like what we think it should look like. And so this is why we have to have a renewing of our mind, a shift in our perspective. Ask me how I know. Recently, I was so blown away by something because I I had to look again. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was like like God lifted the veil off of my eyes concerning something, and there was my answer all along. But I couldn't see it because I was so used to a certain thing. I was so used to. I was just so comfortable in my own way. Are you comfortable in your own way? Are you rejecting God because you refuse to grow? Because you refuse to learn from the things that you've gone through? And I'm not beating you over the head because I'm telling you, I just came through this. But I want to bring light to this because sometimes we are, it's just like that little story where, the man was looking to be rescued, and God sent three different ways for the man to be rescued, through a boat and through a helicopter, and then through some other method, right? And then the man died and he went to heaven. He's like, God, I thought you was going to save me. And he said, I sent you three different ways. But because he thought it was going to show up in a different way, he missed all three times the ways that God sent his answers. Sometimes our answers are staring us dead in the face. Sometimes our answer is in the very thing that makes us uncomfortable. Are you starting that business? Are you walking in the authority that God has told you to walk in? Are you doing the very thing that God told you to do? I don't care if it's going to make you uncomfortable. You know what? There's also this feeling of discomfort when you're not doing the thing that God called you to do, even when it makes you uncomfortable. You never know how much freedom you will have until you walk in the thing that He told you to walk in. Until you embrace the very thing that He told you to embrace. Until you actually gravitate towards the path that He called you to. There will be no comfort. And so there's wisdom in the things that we learn, and there's wisdom in even in the stuff that we had to really, really endure. You know, it's time. It's time for us to step up. We can't make the excuse of, oh, no, I can't do that. Scared, fear. Don't let fear stop you. Do it scared anyway. What do you have to lose? Or better yet, what do you have to gain? Do it anyway. Y'all, we don't have the time that we think we have. We only have one life, one chance to literally fulfill destiny. To do the thing that your soul really longs for, even in the face of discomfort, even in the face of fear. Ask God to shift your perspective. As a matter of fact, you look again. It's not what you think it is. Well, I just wanted to come and just kind of give you guys just a glimpse of just, some of the things that we're dealing with today, And I just walked through something, and listen, I don't want y'all to even take the time that I've had to take to embrace change. It's time, you know? Did you know that if you don't do what you're called to do, somebody's going to miss out because you aren't obedient? Somebody's going to miss out on what they need. Who are you called to? I want us to get it. And when I tell you I have had a shift of perspective, I never thought, I never thought. It's been, it's my mind has been blown. My mind has been blown because I feel totally different about something that I was dead set against. And it's blessed me. I cry almost every day. I'm talking about tears of joy because I can't believe I was just about to give up on the promise of God. And I wanted to share this so that somebody else can be free. Oh, yeah, sometimes we're bound and we don't know that we're bound. Because we're going through post traumatic stress instead of obtaining the wisdom from it. We don't have to live in the low place. You can be in the low place and come up higher. Ask God to shift your perspective. Ask God to help you in your weakness. Ask God to help you see what you should see. Ask him to take the veil from over your eyes, and he will do just that. How open are you? It's time to come up higher. It's time to grow. I want you to grow. Well, that is my subject for today. And brothers and sisters, I hope that we get this. You know, it took me a while, but you know what? I just had to come on and talk about this because in 1 week, my whole perspective has been literally shifted. Shifted in the answers I was seeking. Well, anyway, I will see you guys next week here on Candid Conversations with Carla. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. All right, you guys.